Alright, so before I explain actually how to control abusing L2 spam and aim assist, I think it's probably best to talk about how aim assist actually works and how it helps you keep locked onto your target when you're shooting. So aim assist works in two ways. One of it is when you're near your target and you aim in, it's gonna lock onto your target for you just like that. And so that's what people are doing when they L2 spam, is it keeps them locked onto their target while they're shooting. You can see if I look away from it a bit, it locks me back onto my target. And the second way aim assist helps is if I move my crosshair, you can see it slows down when I hit the target. So I'm moving my crosshair at a constant speed this whole time, and you can see it slows me down when I'm on the target. So that's gonna help with like tracking your target while they're jumping around, running around or something. So I guess I'll just go with all the guns I have right now on me and just explain how aim assist works on all of these, because these are a pretty common loadout for people to have. Alright, so starting off with a AR or a SCAR, or really anything of that kind of thing. There's really two ways you can use aim assist with an assault rifle. And that is when you're like, if you're third partying someone or someone doesn't know that you're shooting at them or something, each time you take a shot, aim out and then shoot. Just like that. And so what that does is it locks you onto your target right before you take your shot. And the second way is just to spray and then just occasionally aim in and out. I barely hit any shots there because I'm kind of a bot, but that's mainly used for when you're like, if your opponent's down here and you want to shoot them, then you can do something like that. And we'll move on to a shotgun now. So obviously the combat is kind of, I'd say, the most popular weapon for this season. It's just really good at medium range and close range. So there's only really one way you can abuse aim assist with a shotgun, and that is by just right before you shoot, you just aim in and then you shoot. And that'll just lock you onto your target right before you take your shot. I mean, you could also just not aim in at all. Obviously, that's just gonna, for most people, it's not really it doesn't really work very well, because most people have a pretty high sensitivity. Like me, I play on 1010, and then like your aiming sensitivity is a lot slower, so it just confuses your brain when you're not ADSing. And then SMG, I'm just using a TAC AR here, but again, only really one way you can abuse it. Just every few shots, just aim out and then back in again, and that'll keep you locked on. Just like that. There's not really any other ways you can use an SMG other than just keeping locked on and shooting. So the last weapon's a deagle. The reason I chose such a specific weapon is because a lot of console and controller players will have deagles in their loadout because it's so aim assist is so strong with this weapon. So it's really just, you'll hit heaps of shots if you learn how to control aim assist with a deagle. And so there's really only one way you can abuse aim assist with a deagle, and that's kind of like you would with a shotgun. So with like, instead of doing what you would with an AR where you just aim out and in and shoot, you just want to stay like non-ADS, and then just before you shoot, aim in and take your shot, and then you'll hit almost every shot. Moving away from like specific weapons and how to use aim assist on them, like the way you use L2 spam, like in general, is actually a lot harder than people think. Most people think you can just shoot and just spam L2 like this, but you really want to get used to aiming in and out like stupid fast like this, instead of going all the way out and then back in like this. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to get in and out as fast as possible. I know a lot of people have like trigger stops and hair triggers on their controller. I don't use those. I've just gotten used to how far I have to pull my trigger for it to actually register, and you can do it pretty quick. Because if you're aiming in and out like a lot like this, what that's doing is it's messing with your sensitivity. Because when you're aimed out for like that half a second, you've got your stupid high sensitivity like me on 1010, but then your aiming sensitivity is a lot slower, so it just like messes with your mind when you're aiming out so far and then back in. When you do it super fast, it's almost unnoticeable sometimes when you're shooting. You can't even see that you're aiming in and out sometimes. So yeah, that's basically how you abuse aim assist with controller.